Welcome back to Builds Not Projects. This week we're back on the trike. We're going to go ahead and finishing up the intake here. So I got a die grinder. Time to grind away on these things. Got all the die grinding done, all the slags cleaned up on the inside, which is what I wanted to do, and then all of these pieces are cleaned up as well. Also these ones, clean the inside edge of those up. So now I can keep going together with this. Gotta put this guy in here like so. Maybe. Now that I've moved everything and nothing lines up. Well, anyways, you get the idea. It's gonna go in there like that, get tacked on. And then all these pie pieces are going to start stacking around here to make that bend. We got the final piece put on here that the filter attaches to on this end. Now it's time to cap off this end. So instead of doing just like a simple piece of sheet metal on the end, that would look kind of dumb. So I'm going to be using a section of this 3-inch, and I'm going to be trying to cut this on the radius of the 3-inch. At least for part of it, and then it will straighten out and kind of angle into that. We'll see how this goes. I think it'll work.
Well, I think that was worth the effort to make that look nice.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's gonna look really nice. Well, I got the end cap all welded on there. I think it turned out really good. Well worth the little bit of extra time to do that instead of just having it at a straight angle. I think it looks a little bit more interesting. So while we're waiting for that to cool off, I'm not going to finish welding any of the rest of this yet, just because it takes so long. I'll do that off of camera. But for now, while we're waiting for that to cool off, before we stick it back in with a bunch of fuel lines and such, we're going to go take out the battery out of the Odyssey to put in this, because I don't have another battery yet, and it's a good size to use. So we'll go grab it, and then we can start building mounts for it. We're working on building some battery mounts. These are the factory hood mounts off of the lawnmower build. So they look like they would work perfect to help hold the battery. All we have to do is add in a support along the bottom at the back, and then add one across the front. Build some sort of a tie down for it to keep the battery from flying out of there, since the trike isn't the most smooth thing in the world. And then we'll have battery mounts. So we got the battery mount made. This is the closest bungee to hold it in there that I have here currently. It holds it in there decent. You know, I may end up throwing a zip tie on there or grabbing a different bungee. So that's cool. And got the other mount thrown on this guy over here for the intake, so it's not just like bouncing everywhere. And then now we can work on putting the fan on for the cooling system.
That's the wrong kind of fan.
Oh, I mean, this would be kind of cool, right? I mean, this thing would totally spin a Cummins turbo. Makes sense. Actually, we got this lame plastic fan to throw on here, so we're gonna do that next. So some of you may remember, but this fan was mounted to the radiator before we took it all apart to paint it. Actually, on its first test drive, I think I had the fan on there. The only issue was the engine didn't have enough electrical output to power the fan, so that's why we're adding the battery, and then also the push-through connectors for the radiator to hold the fan to the radiator. Yeah, they didn't last very long. The fan flew off on the first test run, and so we just pulled it the rest of the way off there and have never put it back on. So we're gonna have to build some metal mounts in there to hold this thing.
So we may have just scrapped the whole metal tab idea and went with some really nice polymer mounts to save weight.
Yeah, yep, some heavy-duty zippy bolts. These things are real nice. You really got to use 4, but I don't know. 3 might have to do. Oh God, my knee! Oh no. The fan is mounted up, which is the last thing that we wanted to try to get done for this video. I'm not too sure where the wiring ended up for it. I originally had it all wired into this little switch up here, and then when I went through and did all the harness and loomed everything, I don't remember if I tucked it inside the harness back here, or if I ran it all the way to the back, or if I ran it to the switch, or if it's there at all. I don't remember. So I'll dig into that off camera, because that's kind of boring and not, you know, there's just not really much for video there. It's just I gotta run 2 wires and then run a couple wires to the battery as well. Also, I will finish welding up this intake. It's probably 75% welded. There's just a few little things I gotta finish up, like this bracket, and then a few joints that I didn't quite finish as well. Next video on this thing, hopefully we'll be driving it. Depends on how it runs with the new filter setup and everything. We may be looking into doing some different jetting on it to lean it out a little bit. Yeah, so thanks for watching this video. If you already haven't, go check out our merch at buildsnotprojects.com. Currently we've got these hats, we've got a mesh back kind of ball cap hat, we've got a black sweatshirt, a light blue sweatshirt. We're also working on getting some more stuff out on there. That'll be coming in the next probably 2-3 weeks. So make sure you check that out, and then hit the like and subscribe button if you already haven't, and see you in the next video.